Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? I know Cyndi was, and if you're a woman, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our environment right now, found in our food, water, and even in our skincare products. These disruptors can wreak havoc on our hormones. Believe me, before Hormone Harmony, I watched Cyndi suffer. Not anymore. Hormone Harmony's formula, made only with herbal ingredients, have reduced Cyndi's hormonal symptoms, and it helps women of all ages. Then there are the natural hormonal changes our bodies face, such as menopause. While these processes are part of life, they don't have to be uncomfortable. The good news is that you don't have to suffer through it any longer. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts known as adaptogens, designed to help the body cope with stressors, including those chaotic hormonal fluctuations that can disrupt your daily life. Whether it's PMS symptoms like irritability and cravings, or menopause symptoms such as hot flashes and night sweats, Hormone Harmony can help with it all. Happy Mammoth, the creator of Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to improving women's lives by using only high-quality science-backed ingredients. They make no compromises on quality, ensuring that you receive the best support possible. This isn't just a supplement, it has become a phenomenon. Women are talking about it everywhere, with a bottle of Hormone Harmony sold every 24 seconds. And the most important benefit, women express feeling like themselves again. A sentiment echoed in over 30,000 positive reviews. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com. Don't forget to use the code RLRC for 15% off today. Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Look no further than Factor. Factor offers chef-made gourmet meals that are dietitian approved and can be heated and enjoyed in just 2 minutes. Perfect for fueling your body and feeling great, no matter what life throws your way. Factor makes it easy to eat well and stick to your nutritional goals. Factor delivers fresh, fully prepared meals right to your doorstep, making it ideal for anyone with an active, busy lifestyle like my family. Are you looking to shed a few pounds? With Factor, you can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals. This is based on a randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, although results will vary depending on individual diet and exercise. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's simple to find meals tailored to your specific goals. You can choose preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, ensuring there's something for everyone. Factor helps me feel my best all day long, and it can help you too. Factor offers wholesome smoothies, delicious breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and so much more. Their variety makes it easy to stick to your nutrition goals without feeling deprived. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and helps my family stay on track with our health goals, making healthy eating not just achievable, but enjoyable. Recently, I had Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice. Imagine tender, juicy chicken thighs, perfectly seared and sauteed to golden perfection. Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice dish brings together rich, earthy flavors that will satisfy your cravings and leave your taste buds dancing with delight. This gourmet meal features succulent chicken thighs paired with a savory mushroom sauce that's bursting with goodness. It's complemented by a hearty serving of fluffy wild rice, expertly seasoned to enhance the flavors of chicken. Each bite is a harmonious blend of textures, tender meat, creamy mushrooms, and wholesome grains. Ready in just 2 minutes, this dish is not only easy to prepare, but also nourishing, providing you with the fuel you need to tackle your day. Whether you're a busy professional, a parent on the go, or just someone who appreciates a home-cooked meal without the hassle, Factor guarantees convenience and taste. So why wait? Treat yourself to a culinary delight with Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice, the perfect balance of flavor, nutrition, and simplicity. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/RLRC50 off and use code RLRC50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code RLRC50 off at factormeals.com/RLRC50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for Tuesday, February the 11th, 2025, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
And we are back to bring you crazy-ass stories, all different kinds. You never know what you're going to get. Box of chocolates, right?
Yeah.
So, well, we appreciate y'all tuning in and liking and listening and sharing. Thank you so much.
Definitely. We are very, very grateful and appreciative. And as Woody always says, we watch the numbers and I just love watching them grow.
Yeah, it's stupid. It is such a blessing. And y'all are the best. And, 7 years we're rolling on this, and it's only because y'all are listening and we love you. So let's get down to some true crime time for Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. All right. We're going to start off today in San Antonio.
Love me some San Antonio.
Me too.
Riverwalk and the different restaurants and, of course, the Alamo. The Alamo is one of the biggest disappointments of my entire life. I was such an Alamo freak, watching it growing up and the John Wayne version. And then later on, what's his name that played the Greatest American Hero, whatever, God, Dennis Quaid, and all of them. And, I just really, really into Alamo, and I went and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I understand the price of city per square foot, and they cut it down to almost nothing.
Literally the size of this room, it seems.
Yeah. What most people don't know is Alamo was just picked for whatever reason. They had I think 80 different places like the Alamo missionaries, or whatever they called them.
The missions are the most
through that area, and they still have a lot of them that are intact that aren't in downtown San Antonio. But Alamo, those guys fought so bravely, and only one of them, that's where they came and draw the line in the sand. They drew the line in the sand and said, hey, we're going to fucking die here. We're not getting any back up, but we need to delay these guys as long as we can. So General Sam Houston get the troops together, right?
Yeah.
And only one dude crossed the line and hauled ass in the middle of the night, and he did get out, but they killed every MFer in there except for the women and children.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, I do love San Antonio. I love the vibe. Every city gives me a different vibe. And I spent a lot of time, as you know, down there working.
Yeah.
And pretty cool place.
I know. I lived 2 hours away from it when I lived in Laredo as a young kid. So that was kind of like our New Orleans. Like that's where we would go.
Yep.
I went way too many times, and after work when my daddy didn't know, and I'd be home in the morning and I'd been in San Antonio partying it up. But yeah.
So what's going on in San Antonio?
Well, a woman beat her grandmother to death with a hammer. And now she's claiming psychosis caused by methamphetamine.
So let's give her. It's time for Family Matters.
So there's been closing arguments in the murder trial of Tamara Laws, who's 28 years old. And the closing arguments were on January 31st. Her attorney said that she should be found not guilty by reason of insanity. He said psychotic delusion drove his client to choke her grandmother, Doris Ruth Novella, and she was 70 years old at the time of her death. So psychotic delusions made her choke her grandmother, stab her, then beat her with a hammer on February 20th of 2020. Prosecutors said that Laws admitted that methamphetamine use led her to kill her grandmother. Evidence shows that Laws' actions were attributed to her drug use, specifically methamphetamine, which is voluntary and disqualifies her from being able to assert the insanity defense.
Meth is bad.
Laws grew so emotional during cross-examination that this made me mad. The judge gave her 2 5-minute breaks to compose herself in cross-exam.
You have to do that. And
Did the grandma get breaks when she was good?
No, I understand, but the judge is looking at a lot of things you're not thinking about, like the appeals process and in front of the jury. If they says she was upset, then they're going to appeal on them. So the judge should have given her a break and given her time to calm down so she could give her not unbiased, but her unfettered testimony to the jury in response to the questions. And no, her grandmother did not get a break. Fuck her.
I mean, I understand. I really understand what you're saying about that, but
judges don't want to be overturned for any reason. They'd rather give her 2 5-minute breaks and let the jury be pissed off that she needs a break, that she bashed her grandmother's brains out.
Yes. So the grandmother actually raised her, and she said that she killed her grandmother because she wasn't in her right mind. And she
wasn't in her right mind because she chose to suck the glass dick full of meth.
When she was trying to explain why she struck her grandmother with a hammer, she said, I thought the bad energy was on me, so I was thinking to get it off, I had to beat it out. In your right mind, would you have done anything to harm her? Asked the attorney. And she said, no. And he said, did you know at the time what you were doing was wrong? And she said, no.
Yeah, right.
She said,
but you remember it clearly now.
Right. Yeah. And she said, I would hear voices in my head telling me that people were trying to kill me. I was like, I know my grandma's trying to kill me. She told her attorney that.
What the voices should have said is, quick, put your mouth around this glass pipe and sucking the meth into your brain.
She said in her delusional state, she believed that her father told her to kill her grandmother.
Her father was really saying, get off the pipe, bitch.
He told me if I do not kill my grandma, I was going to end up chopped up and sent to him in a box by Monday.
He was really saying, we will get you some help in rehab.
And she expressed remorse for killing her grandmother and not getting help. I want to say I'm sorry for my grandmother for not sticking to getting help sooner. I tried to do it on my own strength. I failed miserably, and I'm sorry for what occurred. She faces up to 99 years or life in prison if Judge Catherine Torres Stahl convicts her of murder. If Laws is found not guilty by reason of insanity, she will be committed to the state hospital.
She's getting guilty. Texas, Bexar County, they're going to give her a little bit of that justice. I mean, you watch and see on that one. Fucking, that's so stupid. I did it because I was high. Okay, yeah, motherfucker, you chose to get high. And then you went out and got your meth and you did you. And at some point, a lot of people can use meth and don't kill their grandmothers. Right?
Yeah.
So all right, let me tell you, I am probably the least racist person in the world. I really am. And you know this because I don't give a shit what your color is or whatever, your upbringing, your background. My daddy always taught me you treat the janitor like the CEO and vice versa. And I've met way worse people of any race that there is, right? And so I certainly not walking around touting that I'm white, so I'm better than everybody else.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some fucking idiots do that. And they take it a little bit further. And I'm going to take you out to Baltimore where a dude named Brandon Russell, who's a self-proclaimed National Socialist. And guess what he planned on doing?
Killing some people?
He wanted to lay waste to the city of Baltimore through violence and destruction in critical infrastructure. And this is according to William J. Del Bango, who is the special agent in charge of the FBI's Baltimore field office. Y'all, we're talking about cities and love you lifers in Baltimore. But as much as I love San Antonio, I dislike Baltimore. But anyway, he said he got found guilty, obviously. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what he did was, he got found guilty of conspiracy to damage an energy facility in a racially motivated attack. And this was after a 6-day jury trial. And the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland announced this on February 3rd. I told you what he planned to do. Well, this dude, evidently he is not a superior brain race because Russell was the co-founder of Florida-based neo-Nazi group Atawaffen Division. And they had devised a series of attacks on transformers within electrical substations serving the majority of black city of Baltimore. Oh, by the way, the reason Baltimore is one of my least favorite cities has nothing to do. I didn't even know what the makeup was, if it's majority black, but evidently it is. And so that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to kill Baltimore because there were more blacks there evidently than wherever else he could find. So Russell can't do it all by himself, right? And he recruited Maryland resident Sarah Beth Clendaniel as his accomplice on the ground.
Okay.
Right? Got to have some help when you do it. And the pair intended to cause significant interruption and impairment of the Baltimore regional power grid. So, well, how are you going to do that? Well, prosecutors said his assistant, Clendaniel, identified 5 target substations, and Russell's only job was to get her a weapon.
Okay.
So she could attack him, right?
Okay.
So, and this all was evidence presented in court. So Clendaniel tells Russell that they can completely destroy this whole city with 4 or 5 shots through the center of the transformers. Geniuses, right? Like the transformers aren't protected. But anyway, they said it would probably permanently, completely lay this city to waste if we could do that successfully. That's what Clendaniel said. Well,
where does he think they're going to go when they don't? Where everybody's going to go when they don't have electricity?
Well, he's from Florida. He recruits her on the ground in Baltimore. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I guess they think they're going to ride and shit and, I don't know, kill each other. I don't know. So the plot seems pretty solid.
Okay.
Right?
No, doesn't.
No, right. Stupid motherfucker.
No, it actually doesn't.
The plot unraveled after Russell introduced his cohort, Clendaniel, to a person he thought could get her a weapon. Mm-hmm. But that person was actually a confidential FBI informant. So sugar turned to shit and they got arrested. So y'all, you could talk about blowing shit up all day long. It's not really legal, but you got to do something with what they call an act of furtherance, right?
Yeah.
Meaning like, I could talk about killing Cyndi all day long, but I have to like go out and actually hire a hitman. I could talk to the hitman about killing Cyndi, but I got to give him some money or give him directions.
So if money changes hands, that's the act of furtherance?
That's one of many different things it could be. An act of furtherance in this case is actually trying to seek out the weapon and telling this motherfucker, we're going to lay this city to waste. We're going to blow this motherfucker up, right? So she pleads guilty to conspiracy charges as well as possessing a weapon as a convicted felon. And she was sentenced to 18 years in prison. It's so funny when they do these undercover stings. I watch some of them and they'll like give them fake bombs and shit.
Yeah.
They know
and they're like,
oh, yeah. And they watch them, they videotape them going to set it up, and when it won't go off, they turn on, hey, this motherfucker's not working. Well, guess what? Bitch, you under arrest. And now she's got 18 years in prison. Okay. Russell, they're not done with him yet. He could face up to 20 years in prison. But you know what? He's a frequent flyer. It's not his first rodeo, and it's not his first stint in lockup. He has previously served 3 years after the law enforcement, the powers that be, found a huge ass pile of explosive material in his home in 2017, following the murders of 2 of his roommates by another roommate in Florida.
Louise.
Yeah. So when they did that, they also discovered neo-Nazi paraphernalia in his home and a framed portrait of the Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh.
That's disgusting.
And he was released in 2021. I remember I was I was still a student at Southeastern, but I was living in Baton Rouge. Sean Brady was my roommate, and I was sitting actually doing schoolwork for once. That's when CNN actually ran the news. I don't even think Fox was around yet. And they doing the breaking news of the Oklahoma City bombing, and I drove past that building and everything else in my travels. But I remember that going through and thinking, yeah, God, it's got to be, a foreign thing and all that.
Right.
I remember as the investigation unfolded and Timothy McVeigh and the white supremacy bullshit.
So
don't you know that Jesus or whatever deity you pray to is not going to be happy if you kill people in their name because you think Jesus is back and said, hey, dude, you're better than the rest of them.
You're better.
So you have my permission. Just go out there and kill them.
Kill them all.
Yeah.
Kill them all because you're better.
Then they say, oh, it's not about being racist. It's about us not being, our race not being bred out of existence with cross mingling and all that. Go fuck yourself. I guess you'll be the new members of the Aryan Nation inside the prison, which is where it got started from.
I would love the Aryan Nation to do DNA tests and show their familiar whatever DNA. I would love to see some mixed up. I mean, there's no pure.
Yep. And then mine is 49 point whatever % Germanic, like the most you could have.
More than an actual German.
I know the first motherfucker to settle in German, but I also got Sicilian and I got this and I got that and whatever, right? So yeah, this is not Hitler shit. We're talking about after the Hitler, after the Klan, they get rid of them, but there's always some motherfucker out there that's got nothing else to believe in. So we believe we're going to hate.
This episode is sponsored by MIDI Health.
MIDI Health is here to change the way women experience menopause care. As a husband, I've seen my wife Cyndi navigate the challenges of menopause, and it hasn't been easy. Keeping up with her symptoms while feeling dismissed by traditional healthcare providers was tough for her. It was disheartening to hear the doctors say it was all in her head, or to just focus on diet and exercise. I learned that many healthcare providers lack training in menopause, which is shocking. 80% of OBGYNs report they are untrained in this critical area, and 75% feel uncomfortable discussing it with their patients. Thank goodness Cyndi found MIDI. MIDI is a virtual care clinic dedicated to truly seeing, hearing, and understanding women's experiences. It was created by women for women, and they accept insurance in all 50 states. Getting started is simple. She visited www.trymidi.com/real, set up her account, and entered her insurance information and shared her symptoms. She was able to choose a convenient time to meet her clinician. During the virtual visit, she discussed her symptoms and health history in detail with a nurse practitioner trained in perimenopause, menopause, and weight management. If she needs any tests like blood work or imaging, they help coordinate it with a local facility that accepts her insurance. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now she can follow her treatment plan and schedule follow-up visits. MIDI even collaborates with her other doctors for in-person treatment if necessary. Best of all, there are no hidden costs, no membership fees, and MIDI bills your insurance directly. MIDI also offers fantastic products including compound semaglutide and estriol face cream, which Cyndi loves. This prescription skincare product is designed to improve skin elasticity, hydration, and texture, addressing those frustrating changes related to estrogen decline. So if you're ready to take charge of your midlife health, go to www.trymidi.com/real. That's www.trymidi.com/real to schedule a virtual visit. Join more than 200,000 women who love and trust MIDI for their midlife care. Y'all use my code SAFE15 to get $15 off your first RX product when you book your visit. Genetics can be beautiful. Maybe you got your mom's eyes or her great skin, but genetics can also be a nightmare. I hear friends say, I got my mom's belly and love handles. Don't let genetics be the thing that holds you back from getting the body you deserve. Check out the Permanent Solutions by Sano Bello. Our friends at Sano Bello are offering you their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please make your appointment today. Sano Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal. What is micro fat laser removal? Micro laser fat removal is a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, wherever your problem areas are, the fat is gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that. But if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sano Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/RLRC. That's SONOBELLO.com/RLRC. Hate is bad.
So what do they do with that type of person in prison? They have to put them with only white people? Or they stick them with...
Prisons are where the Aryan nation, most of them got founded from. And not being racist, just fact. The whites bond together as a protection mode. The Mexicans bond together. The Mexicans now are really prevalent in gangs. They have the North and the South and the different gangs that are against each other in prison. But each one of them control a certain faction of things like the drug trade or the, cell phones coming in, whatever it may be. And they work and they have rules. These motherfuckers have like military rules. I'm like, bitch, why don't you just join the army?
Yeah. You could use your
do something
skills
productive.
For something. Yeah.
And now you're in prison and you're getting all tatted up with your brotherhood tats and all that shit and whatever gang you're in. Doesn't matter. It's fucking stupid.
It really is stupid. But can we just touch really quickly on their master plan of stopping the electricity in Baltimore, and that was going to do what to the? They
were going to knock out all the power for the city.
And what was that? How was that going to really solve their problem?
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if they just thought they were going to eat each other.
Yeah, it's turned into a bunch of zombies.
No power means no grocery stores, no banks, no lights, no cops. Whatever. The master plan that wasn't.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
Dumbasses master planning his way to the cell block.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's really, really stupid.
For the record, and I have no direct knowledge of this, and I really don't, but I am pretty sure I cannot ride down the street and get out my 12 gauge shotgun or my high powered rifle and shoot a transformer. I'm sure they have protective coating on the outside of them. I'm talking about shoot a transformer box and take out a whole fucking city.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have found people who were electrified to death inside the transformer stations. The ones with the fences around them and shit. They had the barbed wire on top. The signs, do not enter high voltage.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went in there to steal copper wiring and got electrocuted.
Yeah.
Open, as Mama Carrie in Orlando would say, I had told the young cops, and you're in a rush for that fight to get there, or I told her on the cell block, I say, you got to run over there. But when you get over there, which one of them standing, put the cuffs on them. The one that's not standing, send them to the morgue of the hospital.
Yeah.
Way it is.
Wow.
Dumbasses. Hate is bad.
Hate is bad, and F the bad people.
It's time for worldwide crime.
We're going to Sweden.
Sweden? I don't have any foreign voices. I made a fondue once when I was fourth grade.
I love fondue. That's one of the things Swedish that we just don't do. I think it's Swedish.
I eat a lot of cheese from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They must have some of those people up there. But I'll never remember. Yeah, I didn't even bring lunch to school and shit.
No, you did not.
But I had to bring this chafing dish full of fondue and put the sterno thing underneath and heat it up in the classroom and give a little report about fondue. And it wasn't French fondue. I'm pretty sure it was Swedish.
Oh my gosh. That's too cute.
Switzerland's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. The one you don't see any trash on the sides of the roads and stuff.
Right. Well,
you figure it out. I'm going to take you to Lucerne one day. It's beautiful.
On Tuesday afternoon, the gunman behind Sweden's worst ever mass shooting paced up and down through the corridors of Rasperska Adult Education Center. His steps could be heard outside the classroom of Helen Worm, a 35-year-old nursing
So
student.
Helen is inside the classroom. Hopefully they had everything locked down. Maybe just after he started shooting and they could hear him walking up and down the hallway. And Helen, who's 35 years old, trying to become a nurse, is wondering if she's going to get killed.
She said, "We heard 3 shots, one after the other, and panicked. My teacher shouted, 'Shut the doors, lock them, and hide.'"
Right.
Police had not formally named the attacker, but he had been identified as Rickard Anderson, who was also 35 years old. The gunman was among 11 people who died in the attack.
11 people murdered.
So local media have painted a picture of the gunman, and they say that he was a recluse who lived locally and legally owned a weapon. And so what they know so far about the motives of they're still calling him a suspect,
Right.
but the suspect was unknown to police as they believe he acted alone. Officers said that he had no links to gangs and is thought to have acted without any ideological motive. They also do not believe the attack was motivated by terrorism. It's a changing situation. The information we gave earlier is still valid, but it may change later. When officers attended the scene, they were shot at, he added, but none were injured. Police then found the suspect dead and that he had killed himself.
I mean, honestly, these bitches that I'm glad they do it, but so many of them do it. But they're such wusses. You're going to go in and kill everybody else and think, it's horrible. It's 11 people, but thank God it wasn't children this time. And you go in and kill them, but then you're going to, as soon as they start shooting at you, as soon as the police arrive, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah. And so they didn't know much information, about him. So they reached out to a relative and they said that they hadn't had much contact with him in recent years and that he was unemployed. And they described him as being different but lively as a child. He did well at school, but recent years were tough for him. Another relative said the suspect changed his surname 8 years ago, and then that's when he became a recluse and he began having mental health problems. He had a friend that he did spend time with, but now he had cut himself off from everyone. So hours after the attack, heavily armed officers raided his home, and
that's what it do an investigation, looking for motive and everything else. And I mean, a lot of times when they raid those places, those people are wrapping with booby traps and shit.
Yes. And they actually use drones and a ladder truck to do so for that reason.
I saw one, the New Orleans shoot a guy, they fucking ripped the whole side of his trailer off to avoid booby traps because he had bombs that didn't go off.
Right.
When they went on New Year's Day, searched the shit in Texas, they ripped the wall out of his trailer.
Well, I don't blame them. So there was no, convictions on his name. He was lawful. He just, until he wasn't.
Flip the fuck out.
He had reported no income over the past few years. The story goes on to explain that he legally owned rifles, and 3 of which were found at the site of the attack. And it was suggested that it was a hunting weapon, typical, whatever. But the government has said it plans on tightening the vetting system for people to get gun license and restrict access to semi-automatic weapons. Police said 7 women and 4 men between the ages of 28 to 68 years of age died in the attack. They haven't publicly confirmed the victims' names, but they said using their fingerprints, dental records, and DNA to identify them alongside with interviews and family members.
I'm pretty sure the family members most family members would know their adult, or friends would know their adult person is there, and if everybody else comes out, plus your classmates, and everybody else comes out. But I also understand erring on the side of caution. You don't want to tell the wrong person. Oh yeah, well, Jane Doe's dead, and Jane Doe walks up in the door.
Yeah,
They were
right.
playing hooky that day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The school, like it happened at, provides adult education for people over the age of 20 who did not finish primary or secondary school, as well as they have Swedish classes for immigrants.
Yeah. Switzerland has like one of the highest education levels in the world.
Maria Pagotto said that she took all of her 15 students out into the hallway and they started running. I saw people dragging injured out, first one, then another, and I realized it was very serious.
The problem with that is you're the responding cops, the way we train. And I remember, and I said this 100 times on the show, the very first training we ever did, we used to do surrounded and have hostage negotiators and all that shit. And then after Columbine, we trained to respond to the threat. You didn't wait on anyone. You went to the sound of gunshots to eliminate the threat. That reason they teach them to lock the doors, and there's certain things they do to let law enforcement know everybody in the room is safe or not safe. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. The reason they do that is you don't want to be the officer arriving on the scene and having 100 people running at you, because you don't know if one of them is the shooter.
Right. 2 young residents said that they feared there was a racial element to the shooting, given many of the students were known to be immigrants. Another teacher, Lena Warrenmark, said there were unusually few students at the school on the day, as many had gone home after sitting for a national exam. So luckily there weren't that many people there.
People that, like me, can speed read and finish early. Thankful for them, right?
Right. And then a local municipality offered support at one of the local churches, opening its door Tuesday evening to provide support for community members. And
crazy.
It is crazy.
Switzerland's biggest shooting ever. It's just crazy. I don't know. It is, a sign of the times, unfortunately. And I wonder what it's going to be like when our granddaughter's grown up, if it is this way it's become in the last 30 years.
I know.
I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to lay one more for you. And this happened on Tuesday, February the 4th.
Wow.
In Ohio. And this was a workplace.
Okay.
And one person was killed and 5 others were shot. All right. So then police, were on the lookout for a dude named Bruce Reginald Foster III in connection with the shooting, which was at a manufacturing facility in New Albany, and it occurred around 10:30 p.m. So they must be running 24 hours a day, right? Mm-hmm. And this according to New Albany Police Department. So the NAPD responded to reports of an active shooter at the 8,000 block of Smiths Mill Road, and they confirmed that one victim died at the scene inside the building. So a photo of suspect Foster was shared in the news release, and he's described by the police as having brown hair, brown eyes, 6 feet tall, and weighing 175 pounds. Now, the 5 who were injured hauled ass to the local hospital. You can be in the local hospital emergency room and say, oh, we got 5 shooting GSW victims coming in. So they were taken to the local hospitals. So I guess they spread them out. Hospitals have plans like that.
Yeah.
Mass events. So they treat more than one person at a time, I guess. But their conditions at the time this was written were unknown. But according to the police, 150 employees at the warehouse where the shooting took place were safely evacuated.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's a pretty big warehouse.
Yeah.
150 people is a lot.
Yeah.
And so NAPD Chief Greg Jones said in a news conference that the suspect we had learned had left the building or left the area before our arrival. And we quickly evacuated approximately 150 other employees to a neighboring building. I hope they cleared that first. I'm sure they did. But Foster, this bad guy who ran like a little bitch, is believed to have been working at the facility at the time of the shooting, according to the chief. And he had been working there for some time and was at the building several hours before he began to shoot it up. And of course, a motive for the shooting has not been determined at this time, nor any confrontation or dispute that might have led to the incident. Well, I'm pretty sure you're a grown-ass man. If you have a confrontation or dispute, you don't need to shoot your workplace up. But the chief confirmed at the news conference that one weapon, a handgun, was recovered at the scene, and that the cops are currently visiting certain local addresses to try to find the suspects. Same thing like we talked about in your Sweden story. They hid his shit, and probably his girlfriend if he had one. That they have not, at the time this was read and released, the deceased victim's name, naturally. But Chief Jones said in a statement, "This is a heartbreaking and tragic situation. Our officers, alongside multiple agencies, responded swiftly to protect lives and secure the scene. They did a good job, it sounds like." He said, "We train for situations like this. And while it's something no community ever wants to face, we were prepared to act quickly and effectively. We will continue working to bring this situation to a full resolution." And it goes right back to what we're training on. I mean, he starts out training in schools. Now, I guess, because of assholes like this and other ones we've reported on, you've got to train your employees. Oh, we start hearing gunshots. You know, it's fucked up. They do it. I mean, I had to do it at the jewelry stores I traveled the U.S. for, and I'm like, motherfucker comes in and starts shooting. You know, use oldest fenced in the man, run into the back room and lock the fucking door.
Yeah.
And if you can get in a closet, get in a closet. If you can hide under a desk, hide under a desk. And pray to whoever you pray to that they don't come back there.
Yeah.
You know, and then what a fucking world we live in.
It's disgusting.
And it's not just guns. It could be bombs or knives, or, I mean, we've proven it time and time again with the different stories. It's anything. They want to kill you, they're going to kill you. Somebody wants to kill, they did a girl in the story yesterday, or the meth head who beat her grandmother's brain in with a hammer.
Yeah.
And I could pick up this microphone right now and just beat the shit out of you.
And
right?
just say
I just don't have that intention yet.
Yeah. But a lot of when we talk about like the school and the practices you use and those types of situations, we don't talk about, we don't disclose so that the shooters or whoever it has malicious intent don't know. Naturally. But if that is an employee, naturally that person will be trained on what.
You're right.
And so then you go into that, then he's going to go and alter,
he will have the knowledge, but yeah, you're absolutely right on that. And, I mean, just like if a shooter went to school, they're going to know.
I mean, if there was an ex-teacher or Livingston teacher knows the area, I mean, you're going to.
Yep. Just like Denny Perkins, the dirty ass cop and SWAT team leader and everything else, sat in on all child porn cases because they gave the training at the training center, and he was over the training. Yeah. So he was up to date on all the latest stuff.
That's
but
right.
Those cases are going to happen too, like you said before, good and bad in every profession.
Yeah, exactly.
But for people like this, I mean, thankfully he didn't kill more, and as bad as it is, thankfully in Switzerland they didn't kill more, and hopefully everybody just fucking quit killing each other.
F the bad people.
F the bad people. And that's it. I got nothing else.
I know you don't.
Y'all stay safe, and we love and appreciate each and every one of you, patron convicts, Apple subscribers. We hope you're enjoying your bonus episodes and your commercial-free early releases and everything else that you get. And if you want to be a patron and a member, or however you say it, I've been fussed at that for many times over the years. Go to patreon.com, type in Real Life, Real Crime. It'll bring up a list of different options, or go to the App Store, download the Real Life, Real Crime Community app, and it's in there. We call our subscribers through that. It's free, and it has all the forums and games, merch store, and everything else. But if you want to become a convict, it has all the bonus stuff in there too. Mm-hmm. And We love y'all. Thank you so much. And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We will holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.